items with that amount of trash there, you didn't know what might relate to it or what might not relate to it, meaning the body part.
Correct.
Okay. Did you mark or notice, mark as evidence, certain items that you later came to conclude probably had nothing to do with this?
Yes.
Exhibit 130, that's just the retaining wall, correct?
It is, yes.
131. Looks like cone 8 on the right, lower right there.
Yes, that's like an overall photograph of an area that evidence was recovered.
And then 132. Items 9 and 10, which are located in the woods near item 8. What are those items?
So item number 9 is going to be a smaller piece of flesh that was recovered, and number 10 I documented as a larger piece of flesh.
133 is going to be a closer, slightly closer view. .134 is going to be a close-up of number 9. And 135 will be a close-up of number 10. .136, number 9. 137. Is this sort of just an image of the retaining wall in the relation to where those items were found? Those body parts of flesh?
Yes.
Okay. How big were items 9 and 10, if you could describe?
Detective Jen, can you pull that mic back around towards you, please? Thank you.
The smaller piece of flesh was approximately 2 by 2 inches. The larger piece of flesh was approximately 6 by 6 inches.
Here's 138. What is that cone down there? Number 11?
Yes, that's going to be evidence marker number 11.
And do you know what number 11 was?
Yes, number 11 was a human foot.
.139. The foot is to the left of the evidence marker?
It is, yes. .140. What's that? That is a closer photograph of the human foot that was recovered.
.141.
So in this photograph, we're depicting that the toenail polish on the human foot was pink.
And this foot on the top of the image, that is the retaining wall, right?
It is, yes.
So the foot was right up against the retaining wall?
Yes.
142. When the foot was found, was it covered by some leaves there?
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead to 144. Another view of where the foot was. And 143 and 145 are going to be images of the foot. The cut line at the ankle, how would you describe it, Detective?
It appears to be a straight cut that the foot was severed.
$145. Top view from the ankle.
Yes,
Are you able to see that same straight cut just from the top?
yes,
And there's another piece of flesh coming off of the ankle, correct?
that is correct, yes.
Okay, where did Ms. Moore take you to show you the blanket?
She took me to the wooded area, and the blanket was located kind of centrally north and south in the park.
If I showed you a map of the park, would you be able to give us a general idea of where the blanket was found?
Yes,
Showing you what's been previously received as exhibit number 191. Do you recognize that?
I do.
That's the 31st and Galena Park and surrounding area.
Correct.
Can you point on there where the blanket was found?
Yes. I would say it was approximately in here.
So south of where you located the foot?
Correct.
Is that an area that had previously been searched to your knowledge?
Yes.
Can you describe that area in terms of what all is there?
So that area in particular is the wooded area that runs north and south in the park on the east side. It's pretty densely wooded. It's not a very well-kept park, so there's a lot of overbrush and like garbage, I guess, and just random stuff that's in the weeds and the grass of the park.
Can you describe what you found when you arrived?
So when I arrived and viewed the blanket, it was kind of just balled up on the ground. It was wet from being on the ground for the night and also kind of dirty with just dirt and leaves and stuff that were attached to it.
What did you do then?
We opened the blanket and I could see that there was a photo printed on the blanket of the face of Sade Robinson, along with a small size like brown dog that her friends and family told me also belonged to her at one point.
That photo of Sade, was that readily apparent? If you had passed that blanket just walking, would the photograph have been readily apparent?
Once the blanket was opened, it would have been. The way the blanket was when I found it, you couldn't really see that the photo was printed on the front of it.
What else did you do?
Once we located the blanket, and I did confirm that the photo on the blanket appeared to be Sade Robinson, I requested officers secure the park again. So they used police tape to secure the perimeter of the park, and I requested that Sade's family and friends and other citizens that were in the park be moved to the outer perimeter so we could do another search of the park.
Then what happened?
Myself and some other officers began a search of the wooded area again inside the park.
Did you locate anything else?
So close to the blanket, I located a small piece of what appeared to be flesh. I also located a small piece of what appeared to be bone. The bone appeared to be somewhat fresh as it was still like pink or red with a little bit of like flesh attached to it.
Anything else?
Yeah, so as the search continued, along the retaining wall that runs north-south in the park that separates the park from the train tracks, approximately 8 feet south of where I located the foot the night prior, I found a mound of debris that consisted of like leaves, sticks and some smaller logs that appeared to have been intentionally kind of piled together. It seemed out of place. I began removing the top layer of the debris when I then could observe a larger portion of what appeared to be flesh that was a darker skin tone.
After finding these pieces of flesh and bone, did you, I know you've described the sequence in which you've searched. Was somebody there present recovering these items as you're searching?
Yes, so once we made the determination that we found the smaller chunk of flesh, the bone, and then the larger that was buried, we froze the scene, called for a forensic investigator along with the medical examiner, the Milwaukee County medical examiner.
The medical examiner's office recovered these items then?
Yes.
I'm going to show you exhibits 161 through 181 and ask you if you recognize them.
161 is a photo of the park after it had been taped off.
And you can just go through those and let me know if you recognize what each one is, and then we can go through individually what they are.
Yes, I do record.
So here's 168. You can see exhibit markers 3 and 4, correct?
Correct.
Where are those relative to where the blanket was found?
I believe the blanket was slightly south of there.
Exhibit 169, what is that?
That's another view of the pink blanket looking south.
What about exhibit 170? What is that?
It's evidence marker 2 that I placed next to the small bone that I located.
I'm zooming in. There's a ruler there, correct?
Correct.
Approximately how big was that piece of bone?
I would say approximately 3 to 4 inches.
Exhibit number 171, what is that?
So this is a view of evidence marker 4, which was placed kind of on top of the pile of debris. This particular view is kind of looking from the top down.
And is that how you first observed this?
It is.
And are you the first one to locate this item?
Yes.
Law enforcement uncovered it?
Yes.
Did you uncover it?
Just briefly to see that there's something under there, and then we froze it for the medical examiner.
Exhibit 172, what is that?
That's another view from the top looking down of evidence marker 4. Now more of the debris has been uncovered.
And you described that as being what?
Well, at the time it was we couldn't tell for sure, but it was definitely a larger piece of flesh that appeared to be a dark skin complexion.
Exhibit 173.
Evidence marker number 3 that I placed next to the smaller piece of flesh.
Exhibit 174.
This is a view again of evidence marker 4, now looking kind of at it towards the east.
Before it was uncovered?
Correct.
Exhibit 175.
Another view of evidence marker 4.
Exhibit 176.
A close-up view of evidence marker number 4.
Prior to the debris being moved?
Correct.
Exhibit 177.
That would be a close-up of evidence marker 2, which depicts the smaller piece of bone.
Exhibit 178.
So now this is where the medical examiner laid down a yellow tarp and she placed evidence 2, which is the bone, on top of the tarp with the ruler next to it.
And you were present for that?
Yes.
Exhibit 179.
That's evidence marker 3, which is the small chunk of flesh that was located. Again, the medical examiner removed it from the wooded area and placed it on top of a yellow tarp.
Exhibit 180.
That's evidence marker number 4, which the medical examiner moved to the tarp and now revealed that it was a human leg, which appeared to be severed above the knee and at the ankle.
So that would be the calf portion of a leg.
Correct.
Exhibit 181.
It's a close-up of the human leg where it was severed at the ankle.
Did you make any observations of how that was severed?
Where it was severed at the ankle appeared to be pretty clean. I believe the medical examiner stated she believed the ankle was
Objection, hearsay.
Any exception?
I think I can ask a different question.
Okay.
Just your personal observations.
It appeared to be more cleanly cut at the ankle.
You contacted the medical examiner's office, and are you aware that this was given a medical examiner case number?
Yes,
And is that case number 242415?
I believe so.
The portion of the leg that was covered under, what kind of debris did you testify it was covered under?
A larger pile of leaves, some small sticks, and then some like larger logs.
You testified that it looked unnatural, or like an unnatural portion of the landscape, correct?
Correct.
Did it appear to you that it had been intentionally covered?
To me, yes.
The blanket, is that something that was recovered by law enforcement
Yes.
and it was placed on inventory?
Yes.
I'm going to have Detective Donner show you.
146.
That number fell off.
The date and time stamp that's on this camera are up in the left-hand corner, correct?
Yes,
And were you able to determine whether or not that was accurate?
it was accurate.
I'm going to advance. The first clip I have up on the screen, Your Honor, it begins with the letter A and then 08, and then ends in the number 0618.mp4. And it's a 1 hour and 15-minute video. I'm going to advance it to 44 minutes and 21 seconds. You watched this video
Yes, I did.
extensively?
Yes.
All right. The closest I could get was 44:16, so we're just going to do that. The date and time stamp at this part of the video, it's 44:17. What is the date and time stamp?
April 2nd, 2024 at 6:50 and 36 seconds in the morning.
And are you aware that shortly after 6:50 a.m., Ms. Robinson's vehicle was picked up on camera on North 30th Street near Walnut and Lisbon?
Yes, it actually, if you follow the headlights, you can see it turns onto 30th Street from Lisbon Avenue. It continues northbound through the intersection here at West Brown, North 30th, and continues north.
It turns northbound from 30th and Walnut, correct?
Yes, sorry. If you zoom all the way in, you can actually follow the headlights. It comes from Walnut, comes through Lisbon Avenue, and continues northbound.
All right. I'm playing this from the 44-minute, 17-second mark to about 45:20. So we're going to see it coming from the south?
Yes, that's the top right corner.
Okay.
Where you can see headlights there. That's the intersection of West Lisbon Avenue and North 30th.
So this is just a continuation of where that vehicle is picked up at the liquor store down on 29th in Lisbon, correct?
Correct.
Okay. What do you notice about the vehicle?
You can see the damage to the passenger side. The fog light is burnt out or broken.
Are the wipers going?
Yes.
And it just passed the camera going north?
Yes.
Okay, paused it at 45:21. Going to advance it to 48:12. (48:14). Playing from that time, 6:54:34 a.m. There it is again.
Yes, and
I
sorry,
paused it.
the camera went out, but from that view, you can see the damage to the front passenger rear view mirror is broken, as well as some damage to the front passenger side bumper.
All right. I can't zoom in on this player, but are you able to see right? You're saying that this front passenger mirror appears to be dangling?
Yes.
Okay. And I have it paused at 48 minutes, 19 seconds, 6:54:38 a.m. What about the windows?
They're all fogged up.
Is that kind of something you noticed in other videos you watched as well?
Yes, it is.
Playing from that timestamp. Paused again because the TVs went out. Picking up there at 48:23, and it's off camera, correct?
Correct. It turned westbound on Brown.
Were you able to find a video down Brown Street that picked it up, or not, or was there not one?
No, I was unable to find any video west on Brown.
Going to advance this video to 52:06. I'm going to play from 52:03. It says 6:58:22 a.m. if we get it back.
Correct.
Okay. All right, playing again at 6:58:28. And now what's the vehicle doing?
It came from the west on Brown Street. It's going to turn northbound on North 30th Street, where it's captured on video at 3013 West North Avenue.
The video we'll watch next, correct?
Correct.
All right. Last part of this clip, I'm going to advance it to 54:03. Now we're at basically 7 a.m. on the dot.
Yes.
7 a.m. and 22 seconds, playing from there.
Again, that's the vehicle. You can see the passenger side mirror, the damage to it.
Dangling down.
Yes.
All right. And what does the vehicle do?
It continues southbound towards Lisbon Avenue, and you can If you zoom in, you can see that it actually turns westbound on Lisbon Avenue.
Paused it again. All right. So it's way up here in the corner going towards Lisbon, correct?
Correct.
All right. And before Lisbon Avenue, which is difficult, almost impossible to see, the car would be able to turn into the alley where it was eventually set on fire, correct?
Correct.
All right. I'm going to bring up the next clip. It starts with A08 and ends in 2150. Sorry. Got to get the right player up. All right. So we're at I'm going to go to 1 minute, 20 seconds. All right. Very, very faintly up in the corner, are you going to be able to see that car turn off of Lisbon and go into that alley?
Yes.
All right, but it's really faint, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to play from 120 to 149. All right. There it is, and it's making the turn now, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you've reviewed that video footage from the liquor store before?
Yes, I have.
This is the time that you see on behind the liquor store, the car in the L-shaped alley?
Yes.
All right. And then lastly, I'm just going to go ahead. I'll cue it up so when the TV comes back, it can be ready. 13 minutes, 52 seconds, roughly. 7:35 a.m. You can start to see faintly in the upper right corner the siren, or the the fire trucks coming northbound on 30th.
Correct.
Okay. Paused at 14:08. So just to, well, never mind. I'm going to move on to the next video before I do that. The next is going to be Exhibit 195. What are we looking at, Detective?
This is the video from 3013 West North Avenue.
Move 195 in.
No objection.
It's received.
All right, I'm going to go up to 6. Well, was the date and time accurate on this one?
Yes, it was.
Very hard to see, but I'll bring it up in a minute. Make it bigger. Okay, so what date and time do we have?
April 2nd, 2024 at 6:52 and 42 seconds a.m.
And this is 30th Street right here, correct?
Yes,
And then this would be North Avenue going east if you were going that way.
correct.
And this just picks up where kind of that last camera left off?
Yes.
What are we going to watch the Honda Civic do here?
So after the Honda Civic goes out of view traveling northbound on North 30th Street, it reaches this I guess, the entranceway to the parking lot of the liquor store. It's going to turn into the parking lot and kind of back out and then go back southbound on 30th Street.
Playing at 652-43. So it gets to North Avenue, then it decides to turn back south.
Correct.
And that's where we pick it up again on that other video?
Yes, at 2001 North 30th.
Okay. Let me advance this to 6:59:07, or as close as I can get. And this is that second pass as it's going up 30th Street between Brown and North?
Yes.
Makes another turn. Off camera by what time?
6:59 and 29.
I have actually a quick one, I'll do that. All right, did you get a ring video from an address on McKinley?
Yes,
What was the address?
the address was 3332 West McKinley.
I'm gonna show you what is marked as Exhibit 200. This is a brief clip, right, Detective?
Correct.
Okay. While I pull that up. Zoom in here. All right, so we just watched the video of the car going westbound on Lee here, right?
Correct.
And then we watched it make some southbound turns on the 35th here, correct?
Correct.
And then we also watched it make one southbound turn on 33rd Street here, right?
Correct.
After it made one of those southbound turns on the 35th Street, is that shortly after it goes off camera there? Did you catch it on camera at this McKinley address?
Yes.
Where is that address?
The address?
The address would be located right here. It would be 34th Street. And these, the east and west would be McKinley Avenue.
Is that a residential area?
Yes, it is.
Were there any cameras down McKinley that were able to help you?
No other ones that we were able to locate.
All right, so, the street, McKinley here, this would then be 34th, right?
Correct.
34th runs into the train tracks, right?
Correct.
Dead end?
Yes, there is a way to get through by an alleyway that would be in between McKinley and Valit, but yes, essentially a dead end.
Okay, so we're about to watch video footage from here facing 34th?
Correct.
All right. Is this the video? Oh, sorry, I gotta hit the button.
Yes, that is the video.
Let me get the volume on here. All right, I would move 200 in.
Any objection?
No.
Received.
Off to the left side of the screen would be McKinley.
Correct.
All right, and then to the right side is sort of where that train tracks meet 34th Street.
Correct.
Is this the car right here off to the left?
Yes.
And what time and date is this?
It is April 2nd, 2024 at 4:59 and 29 seconds.
Would
AM.
this have corresponded with the timestamps from the other video when the car is seen turning off onto 35th Street?
Yes, it would.
Playing the 50-second clip. What'd you observe the car do?
The vehicle had traveled northbound on North 34th Street from McKinley, went to the dead end, conducted a turn to turn itself around, and then slowly traveled back southbound on North 34th Street back to McKinley.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
After it made its turn to turn itself around, it traveled southbound back to slowly traveled southbound on North 34th Street back to West McKinley Avenue.
At some point in this video, does it appear to you that a motion-activated light turns on?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna play it one more time. Right there?
Correct.
And as the car passed, were you able to see whether or not the windows appear fogged?
They do.
Okay, I think this is a perfect time.
Welcome back, Detective. When we left off this morning, we had finished with a video from the 3200 block of West Valete, as well as a video from the 3300 block north of McKinley. Is that right?
West McKinley, yes, sir.
It was McKinley, okay. And lastly, I got one more video to play with you. Did you obtain video from a gas station at 3308 West Valete Street that depicted Miss Robinson's Honda Civic?
Yes,
Could you tell the jury where that gas station is on the map?
certainly.
For the record, I have Exhibit 225 up on the screen.
West Valete Street is here, and 33rd Street would be just kind of going through the JJ Fish and Chicken, the eye of the fish. It would be located on the northwest corner of 33rd and Valete.
The footage we're about to watch, we see some of these same movements in one of the previous vehicles. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Which video?
The video from to the east of the location from the 3220 West Valete Street, the care center.
I have coming up on the screen here Exhibit 203. Is this the gas station video you recovered from 3308 West Valete Street?
Yes, it is.
I'm sorry, this is 201. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong case. Okay, I'd move 201 in.
Any objection?
No.
201's received.
The video is date and time stamped, correct?
It is.
What is the date and time stamp?
The date and time stamp currently on the monitor is the year 2024, 0402, which would be April 2nd. The time is 3:57 and 08 seconds.
What can you tell us about the accuracy of that timestamp?
The timestamp is 1 hour and 1 minute slow from the actual time.
So what would be the real time where we have it here?
It would be at 4:58 a.m.
And what are we gonna see?
What we're gonna see in this video is the camera view. It's showing the front of the gas station, the pumps. And right behind that, you can see going from the upper left to the right side of the screen would be West Valete. And then North 33rd Street would be going from the left side of the screen to the upper right.
Okay. Is the car gonna drive by like we saw on the other camera?
That's correct. It'll be traveling westbound, going from left to right on Valete Street in a moment.
Playing at that time. Is that the car?
Yes, it is.
Paused at 4:50, it would be 3:57:17 on the screen. So that would be at 4:58 a.m.
Correct.
I'm gonna advance the video to 4:13. Let me go back. Cue it up to 4:13:06, playing from there. You see the Honda?
Yes, I do.
And it's doing what? I paused it at 4:13:40.
At this time, it was traveling eastbound on West Valete Street and making a right-hand turn to travel southbound on North 33rd Street.
The real time of this would be what?
This would be 5:14.
There were multiple clips?
Yes, we retrieved a total of 4.
Okay. Who'd you retrieve that video from?
The owner of the corner store, his name was Dominic Key. He wasn't present, but he forwarded us the clips from his phone.
I'm gonna bring up the first clip. Sorry. This is exhibit 198. Let me get off the Zoom. Do you recognize this?
Yes, this is one of the clips that shows 35th and Lisbon going northwest.
This is a video from Key Spot.
Yes.
I'd move exhibit 198 into evidence.
Any objection?
No.
It's received.
The traffic light that's up here on the right side, what is that?
That would be the intersection of 35th and Brown, I believe.
And this stoplight that's in the lower left foreground of the video, this is the intersection of 35th and Lisbon stoplight, right?
Yes.
What, in sum, Detective, what are we looking for on this clip?
On the very top, where you see the red brick building, that's a school. And you're gonna be seeing near that school walking towards us, a male on the left side of the screen, walking south.
I'm gonna play.
Curzan, is this a CD or is this a flash drive?
This is a CD.
Thank you.
Playing this clip, it's 26 seconds long. If you could, Detective, stand up and point out what you're seeing.
So there's a subject walking right here, walking towards the intersection of 35th.
All right. Next clip, that first clip was titled Key Spot, Channel 4, and it ends in 250. And the next clip is titled Key Spot, Channel 4, and it ends in 621. Paused it at 20 seconds. Do you see that same subject?
Yes,
Did this clip just pick up where the last one left off?
it did.
Okay. And the date and timestamp, is that accurate?
On these two, they are. In the other two, they're off by like an hour and 2 minutes.
Okay, but this one's accurate. So this one is 8:07 a.m.?
Yes.
The next clip I'm gonna play is titled, it starts with RP replay, and it ends in the numbers 497. Before I play that, this is a different camera altogether, right?
It is, and this view is gonna be, I believe, an hour and 2 minutes behind. So on this, it'll say 7:05,
And what's then the real time?
8:06.
And so this picks up where the last camera left off?
Yes,
And do you see that same subject on this clip from the beginning here?
he's right here.
You're pointing to the upper right side of the screen?
Yes, I'm sorry, right. In
Okay.
the upper right-hand corner.
I'm gonna play this clip. It's 54 seconds long. Paused at 6 seconds. I'm gonna zoom in. If I can. All right. Are you able to describe what you see that subject wearing?
He's wearing all black and has like a tan-colored backpack.
See right here where I'm circling with my mouse?
Yes,
And what does he do? What are we gonna see next?
in the next clip, you're gonna see him standing at the bus stop until the bus comes.
Last clip. It's titled RP Replay, ends in the numbers 9424. That Adrian Wojnarowski notification was on the video that was sent to you, right?
Yes, it's from whatever, the owner's cell phone.
The zooming in that's happening, that was also from the owner's phone, correct?
Yes.
What just happened?
He made a move towards getting on the bus.
A Milwaukee County Transit bus?
Yes.
Nothing else?
Cross?
Okay, so the video footage we were watching was from the key spot, right?
That's correct.
the neighborhood store on 35th Street in Lisbon.
Yes.
And you spoke with somebody named Dominic Key, who just cooperated fully with law enforcement, just turned over videos, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then the videos that we watched show a person walking to a bus stop.
Correct.
That's all.
State?
Nothing else?
Thank you. State your next witness.
All right, we're heading west.
Yes, and then the blue building on the right side of the screen is the blue building I referred to. Those will be the two females walking along the sidewalk westbound. And then shortly you'll see a male subject approach out of those yards between the white building and the blue building. Right there.
I paused it at 7:30 and 02, and if you look off to the right side of the screen, what can you see here?
That is Miss Robinson's vehicle, and the fire appears to be just starting inside the passenger compartment of that vehicle.
This is the subject here that I'm circling with my mouse that you were referencing walking out?
Yes.
Is there a microphone up by you, a handheld one?
Yes.
Are you able to go by the TV screen and point out what you're seeing as we're playing through this?
Sure. If I can turn this.
Be honest.
I'm gonna back it up here to 7:29:55.
So the two females are walking westbound along the sidewalk, one with a black and white umbrella, the other one with a blue jacket with the number 23 on it. And then to the right side of the screen is Miss Robinson's vehicle. You can see the fire is starting in the passenger compartment of that vehicle. And then in front of the two females, there's a subject, a male subject wearing a black hooded sweatshirt and a large camouflage backpack.
At some point in maybe this clip or other clips from the same exact bus, are you able to tell any demographics about that individual with the backpack?
Yes, it would be outside the curb side view of this bus video.
Okay, I'm gonna keep playing the video. Pause there. Are you able to tell anything about his shoes there?
Yes, you can tell that it has a white bottom sole, and then there's a darker top part of the shoe, and then also dark pants.
I'm gonna move over to the curbside. All right, so I'm on the curbside view now.
Yes,
This is the woman with the umbrella up here.
correct.
The woman with the LeBron James jacket is behind this tree.
Yes.
Okay, playing from there. 7:30:06. Do you see the subject with the backpack?
Yes, so you can see the backpack a little more clear here. It's going to be a tan camouflage backpack, and then you can also see that the tops of his shoes are also that almost similar tan color.
And as I advance the video, the bus has now passed, what, 30th Street?
Correct.
And what do you see in the upper left?
That would be the car, Miss Robinson's vehicle becoming more engulfed in flames.
Okay. I'm gonna go back again to 7:30. '02. And play from there, frame by frame.
Did you want me to narrate it in again, or?
Yes, please.
So the LeBron James jacket is continuing to walk westbound. She appears to look to her right, which would be north. And then the male subject comes out of that lot and stands next to the bus. And then as the bus passes, he crosses the street, which would be southbound across Lisbon.
Sorry about that. Go frame by frame forward. This is on the curbside view.
Yes, and you can see the female with the 23 jacket is looking towards the car fire. The subject with the umbrella continues to walk westbound. I believe she stops as she sees the fire also. And that would be the male subject with the tan backpack. Appears he's waiting for the bus to pass him so he can cross the street. And then we see the car engulfed in, or starting to be engulfed in flames on the left side of the screen.
If I go to the other side of the bus, what can you see?
So on this would be called the street side camera, and we see that same individual now behind the bus, and he's crossing southbound across Lisbon Avenue to the south side of the street. And that would be 30th Street is that intersection right there, North 30th and Lisbon.
Stopped the video at 7:30:23. Let's talk about the 35th Street bus.
Yes.
Where does that bus travel to and from, if you know?
It's all along North 35th Street. The video that I had got, it was just north of 35th and Lisbon, and then on the video I got from 8:11 a.m. all the way to 8:36 a.m. for that date. So it travels all the way to the south side of Milwaukee, south of Oklahoma, probably even to Howard. It just continues on 35th Street.
Is 35th Street one of the main, I guess, roads that connects the north side to the south side?
Yes.
There's a viaduct that goes over the Miller Valley?
Yes.
Okay, what are the other ones?
We would have 27th Street would be one. 16th Street travels pretty far, but 27th, 35th, and then you would also have 43rd, which would be Miller Parkway, Sherman Boulevard, more. But it shows the subject walking to the corner here and waiting for the bus.
Not this video, the video that you were aware of?
Correct.
Thank you. Pause the video. Do you see anyone on this frame that looks familiar from the last bus video we saw?
Yes.
Point them out, please.
Sure. He is wearing the black hooded sweatshirt. He has the brown, you can see the brown shoulder straps for a backpack, black pants, the brownish color top of the shoe, white soles, and then it's the same guy that we saw earlier.
Going over to the, what is this camera?
So there's 10 different cameras that I downloaded off this bus. You have 4 exterior cameras. You have the windshield, curbside, street side, and then you have a rear facing camera. And then there's 6 interior cameras on this one. So the one we were looking at just a minute ago was the windshield camera. This would be called the front door camera.
And there's also cameras that face back into the bus where the passengers sit?
Correct. And then on the interior cameras, there is audio.
Okay. Let me make sure I have that on. And what time are we looking at here? Oh, it'll come back. There it is.
It is 8:12 and 15 seconds, so 8:12 in the morning.
Playing from that timestamp. We're gonna watch it not extended. No.
You run last week. Here you did. What about you?
I'm gonna go full.
Here you run last week. Here you did. What about you?
All right, detective, the subject did what in those clips?
He enters the bus, he puts $2 into the machine, and he asks the bus driver if the bus is going south. And the bus driver tells him that it is.
Okay. He then goes in the back and sits down?
Correct.
And are you able to see clearly the clothing he's wearing now?
Yes.
Have you watched this entire clip from when he sits down until he gets off the bus?
I have.
Does he ever pull a phone out?
He does not.
I'm gonna play through I'm gonna skip through this, but play various clips, starting at 8:13:34.
Route 35.
Paused at 8:13:52. We'll jump ahead, 8:15. Paused at 8:15:18, just sitting there.
Yes.
Let's go ahead, 8:17. Paused at 8:17:19. Let's go up to 8:20.
Can you help me? you know how to get it out? I don't know what the heck was happening.
Paused at 8:21, we'll go ahead. 8:24. Go ahead to 8:27. And all this time, Detective, where's the bus going?
Southbound on 35th Street.
Okay, and you'd be able to see that on the front camera, right?
Correct.
Paused at 8:28:04. Playing at 8:28:52. Paused at 8:29:07. Playing at 8:30:06. Paused at 8:30:21. Playing at 8:31:25. Paused at 8:31:36. Playing at 8:33:11. Paused at 8:33:35. What's happening now?
He is approaching the front door of the bus to get off.
Paused at 8:33:40. You're able to see on the sweatshirt a little emblem on the left sleeve here?
Yes.
Okay.
Follow Ohio, Alberta College.
You don't take it off here.
Paused at 8:34:02. What happened there?
He approaches the driver and asks him if he minds if he gets off there. The bus is currently in the middle of the street, so he would not let him get off there. The street directly before this is West Lakefield, and then the next stop that the bus driver is going to stop at, that there is a stop, is going to be on Ohio.
Showing you Exhibit 204. What is that?
That is the subject that's on the bus.
That's a screenshot of the bus video we just watched.
It is.
Move 204 in.
Any objection?
No.
It's received.
Pass to publish.
Go right ahead.
That's 204. Oh.
Yes,
Do you see that person in court today?
I do.
You identify him by where he's seated and what he's wearing.
He's seated at the defense counsel's table wearing a blue button-up shirt with the white t-shirt underneath it.
I'd ask the record to reflect that the detective identified Maxwell Anderson.
Any objection?
I'm not going to comment on that.
The record will so reflect.
All right, I've moved it to the video, kind of shows the door where he got on, right?
Yes.
Take it off here. No, in the middle of the street.
Let me back that up because the video went out.
Take it off here. No, in the middle of the street.
He asked the bus driver what?
If he could get out there, and the bus driver tells him, no, we're in the middle of the street.
And if we look at the front, where are we?
This would basically be Lakefield, and then as you continue through it, you go to Ohio.
Okay. Is this near the address of 3161 South 39th Street?
Yes, I believe Lakefield is a 3200 block. Is either the 31 or 3200 block. It's Oklahoma, Lakefield, and then I think Rustic in Ohio, some type of order.
Is Euclid in there?
Euclid is also, sorry.
Okay. Paused it.
Next block. As well.
He's exited the bus?
Yes.
And then what direction does he walk?
He starts walking northbound back towards West Lakefield.
Okay, which camera would that be on?
That one, the curbside, sorry.
Okay.
And then, can I stand up and just point where Lakefield is?
Yes.
So this is along South 35th Street, and then this intersection here is West Lakefield.
If you were to go to 3161 South 39th Street, what would be the best route to walk to off of this bus?
The quickest way would be either Ohio or up West Lakefield.
Okay. I'm gonna play from 8:34:54. I have it on the curbside camera. This one doesn't have audio, right?
Correct. So the subject continues the walk northbound along 35th Street, and then he goes out of range.
I'm gonna bring up a map that's already been introduced and admitted as Exhibit 443. And if I didn't already, I'd move the entirety of 203, and I know I moved the first one in.
Any objection?
No.
203 is received.